Neural networks. They're pretty much the engine behind everything in our digital world, right? From recognizing your face in a photo to translating languages on the fly. But how do they actually work? It can feel a bit like magic, but today, we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to build one from scratch, starting with the simplest possible building block, a single artificial neuron.
So here's our roadmap. Our journey is going to start with the original inspiration, the biological brain. Then we'll zoom in on a single artificial neuron, the perceptron. After that, we'll see how stacking these things together creates a really powerful network, and we'll even test its limits with a classic logic puzzle. And finally, we'll uncover the secret sauce that allows these networks to actually learn all on their own.
Okay, so to understand artificial intelligence, we first need to look at the original intelligence. The inspiration for all of this doesn't come from silicon, but from right inside our own heads, the human brain.
And that really is the fundamental problem, isn't it? If you're used to something like a database, you know it follows strict logical rules. You run a query, you get a predictable result. Every time. But brains adapt and learn from experience. So how do you get a machine that's built for pure logic to learn like a brain? Well, the big breakthrough came when the pioneers stopped trying to write endless rules for the computer. Instead, they asked a different question. What if we modeled the structure of the brain itself? What if we could build an artificial brain, one neuron at a time?
And that brings us to the very first building block of our artificial brain. It's called the simple perceptron.
So what is this atomic unit? It's the perceptron. You can think of it as a single, incredibly simplified artificial neuron. It's just a tiny decision-making machine that takes in several yes or no inputs, and based on those, it produces its own single yes or no output.
And what it does is beautifully simple. Really, it just involves 3 steps. First, it gets its inputs. Second, it calculates a weighted sum. Now this is key. It doesn't treat all inputs equally. Some are more important, and the weight shows that. And third, it applies something called an activation function, which of course begs the question, what exactly does an activation function do?
The activation function is the decision maker. It's just a simple threshold rule. After the perceptron adds up all the weighted inputs, it checks if that sum crosses a certain line. If it does, the neuron fires and outputs a 1. If not, it stays quiet and outputs a 0. It's a binary choice, turning a calculation into a clear fire or don't fire signal.
Now, a single one of these seems pretty limited though, right? And it is. A single perceptron is interesting, but the real power comes when we connect them together. That's how we build an actual architecture of neurons, all arranged in layers.
It all starts with the input layer. Its only job is to receive the raw data. For our database folks, you can think of this as the initial source table for your query. It's the raw, unprocessed numbers or pixels you're starting with.
Next is the hidden layer. So why is it called hidden? Well, it's because we don't directly give it data or read its output. Its job is to take the raw inputs and transform them into more abstract, more useful combinations. This is where the really complex patterns are found. The perfect database analogy here is a view. A view doesn't store raw data. It creates a more useful, abstract representation of it. And that's exactly what a hidden layer does. And finally, all that processed information gets to the output layer, which gives us the final result. It could be a classification, like spam or not spam, or it could be a number. It's the final result set of your complex query, the answer you were looking for.
So, we have the architecture. Now let's put it to the test. This next part is the aha moment, where we truly get to understand the power that's hidden in these layers.
And this leads to a critical question. Why even bother with that hidden layer? What can this complex network do that a single perceptron just can't?
The answer lies in a classic logic puzzle called the XOR problem, which stands for exclusive OR. The rule is simple. The output is true if one and only one of the inputs is true. If both are the same, the output is false. Seems simple enough, but it hides a really tricky challenge.
Here's the issue for a single perceptron. It can only ever draw one straight line to separate the yes answers from the no answers, and you simply cannot do that with the XOR problem. It fails completely, so it's useless for this problem. Alone, that is. But add a hidden layer, and everything changes. That layer transforms the data, basically rearranging the puzzle pieces so the final output can draw that line. This ability to solve nonlinear problems, this is the superpower that hidden layers unlock.
So we have this really powerful structure, but there's still a huge piece missing. How does the network actually figure out the right weights to solve these problems? Well, that brings us to the magic of learning. Exactly. It's one thing to handcraft the weights for a tiny network like XOR, but you have to imagine a network with millions or even billions of connections. It's just impossible. So how does it learn the correct weights automatically just from looking at data?
The answer is a brilliant and surprisingly elegant algorithm called backpropagation. At its core, it's a method for learning from mistakes. After the network makes a prediction, backpropagation calculates how wrong it was, and then it sends that error signal backward through the network, telling each connection how to adjust its weight to do better next time.
This process is just a continuous loop. First, the network makes a guess. That's the feed-forward step. Then, we calculate the error by seeing how wrong that guess was. But the key is step 3. That error signal is sent backward through the network, assigning blame. And finally, every weight is nudged just a tiny bit to reduce that error. The network repeats this loop millions of times, getting smarter with every single pass.
So let's just recap the whole story. We've seen that neural networks are built from simple units called perceptrons, and they're inspired by the brain. The real power comes from those hidden layers, which allow them to solve incredibly complex, nonlinear problems. And they learn by using backpropagation to constantly adjust their internal weights and minimize error.
So that leaves us with one final thought. We've seen how a tiny network with just a few neurons can learn to solve a logic puzzle. The question to ponder is, what becomes possible when we scale this up and connect not just a handful, but billions of these simple units together?
If you found this breakdown helpful, please do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe for more explainers just like this one. Thanks for watching.